You didn't have a phone call with Shane Mosley, correct?
No, I did not.
You had a call with some stranger who said he was Shane Mosley's trainer, right?
That's correct.
You undertook no independent investigation to see whether or not he was, in fact, Shane Mosley's trainer.
No, my assumption was that if he'd, delivered Shane Mosley to my office, and they represented together that he was his trainer, that's what he was.
Okay. But before you got to see him deliver Shane Mosley, according to you, you were already on the phone telling him that you were willing to provide.
The possibility.
Can I finish? You telling him that you were willing to provide Shane Mosley with illicit drugs.
That's not what I said, Jed. I never said I was willing on the phone. Okay, so don't put words in my mouth.
What did you say?
I said we discussed the possibility.
Tell me specifically what you said.
I don't recall.
Well, you told him that that those could be available to him, that
it was possible.
Did you tell him that if everybody agreed you had such drugs available?
I may have indicated that, yes.
You told a stranger who you had never met that you had illicit drugs in your possession.
You're calling him a stranger. I'm not agreeable that he's a complete stranger to me. I mean, I hadn't met him in person, but I had several discussions with him and sent him product, and he'd used the product and given feedback, and so there was an ongoing dialogue. So I don't think that's a stranger. Stranger is somebody you walk up to on the street that you don't know.
But not being on the other end of the phone, you had no idea whether or not he was an undercover agent.
I guess that's correct.
Well, you wrote in your as I understand what you're saying now. Well, did Daryl Mosley ask you during that meeting to prescribe illegal drugs to Shane?
I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe.
Well,
drugs.
provide.
You just said Daryl Mosley.
Daryl Hudson asked you during that call.
Shane did most of the talking. Daryl said very little.
I'm asking about the telephone calls before they arrived. Were you specifically asked by Daryl Hudson whether or not they'd be able to come to see you so that they could get performance-enhancing drugs?
They could come to see me and we could discuss that possibility.
Who first raised the issue of performance-enhancing drugs?
I don't recall.
Well, but you have a recollection that the subject was discussed.
Yes, I do. It was 6 years ago, but I still have a recollection.
And isn't it a fact that Hudson asked for you to meet with him and Mosley so that you could prescribe a regimen of performance-enhancing drugs?
The word prescribed was never used at any time by him or me.
Okay. Never?
Never.
Take a look at what exhibit is this? Exhibit 6. Sworn document of yours.
Well, it's what it is. It's probably a word that was used by my attorney when he drafted it at the time.
Let's go back.
But I never used the word prescribed.
But I'm trying to understand here.
Are we getting hung up because the word prescribed to you indicates, I'm talking to the witness, indicates to you some sort of
He's not
legal?
A doctor,
I'm asking. It goes to your question, what he understands. If prescribed means the same thing as you giving or telling someone they should take these drugs, but it doesn't make you a doctor, would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, I don't mean prescribe in the sense of a doctor, although you were the one who chose the word prescribe.
Okay, well,
but
my lawyer may have chosen that word.
Well, you understood, but you're a careful man with language. You don't read these things carefully when you're signing them under oath?
I read it, and if My thought now is that a better word could have been selected.
You write in your affidavit that Hudson, upon information of belief, a California resident, requested that I meet with him in Moseley so that I could prescribe. And I understand we'll use provide instead of prescribe. Provide a regimen of performance-enhancing drugs for Moseley to increase his strength and endurance prior to his championship fight. What I'm trying to understand is, it's your testimony that before ever meeting Darrell Hudson in person or Shane Moseley, you had discussions with Darrell Hudson in which you agreed that performance-enhancing drugs would be available to them if
That we would discuss that possibility.
and and you acknowledged that it was a possibility that was available to them.
It was a possibility, yes.
Okay. I don't need this. Just want to show you this question. I won't be asking any questions. I'm just trying to figure out if this is you or not. Should mark this as an exhibit. And
One moment.
Exhibit 29.
you can take it there. I'm just going to ask you, Mr. Conte, are you the Victor Conte listed in the caption of that document?
I don't believe I am, no.
Okay. Never been in a lawsuit in Connecticut?
No, I have not. If you notice, this says Victor T. Conte. So you might...
Okay, just checking. I didn't know the answer to it. How about...
been able to figure that out.
Were you ever sued, or Balco sued, in connection with a Medicare scam?
Yes.
All right, what happened there?
The case was settled with no wrongdoing, and an amount was paid over an extended period of time of $60,000, which I was advised to take this deal because the legal fees to fight the case would have been greater than $60,000. So there were very favorable terms offered. I accepted, and without any admission of wrongdoing, I paid $60,000.
But just so I understand, you were sued for Medicaid fraud.
No, it wasn't Medicaid, it was Medicare.
Medicare fraud.
Okay.
And what was the allegation?
That there was billing for tests that they considered to be unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. And you ended up, for whatever reason, paying money to the government in settlement of the case.
Well, let's put it in perspective. The amount that they were suing for was $1 million. Was $1 million, and they settled for $60,000.
This is all to be stricken. I just asked the question: Did you end up paying money to settle the suit? Yes or no?
Over a long period of time and minimal payments, an amount of $60,000.
Okay.